What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out one of the latest security cameras from Eufy Security. The one that we have here today is called the SoloCam S220. So this is a security camera that records at a resolution of 2K and we also have a field of view of 135 degrees. So nice and wide field of view and very sharp footage due to that 2K resolution. This camera also has an IP67 rating, so yes, you can install this outdoors, it can rain on it, it can snow on it, nothing will happen to the camera. And very importantly, at the top of the camera we have a massive solar panel. So depending where you install the camera, if the camera can get about 3 hours of sunshine every day, you're never gonna have to charge the camera because it will charge enough in those 3 hours so it never runs out of power. Now, if you install it somewhere where it doesn't get those 3 hours of sunshine, it still has a 6500 mAh battery inside, and that will last for about 3 months. So depending on the location, you may never have to charge it, but if it's not in the right spot, basically, you may have to charge it every so often. However, it will still last for a long time, even without sunshine. Alright, let's start by doing a bit of an unboxing, just so I can show you what comes in the box with it and how you have to install this. Alright, so in the box, of course, you're gonna find the security camera. We also have this quick start guide. This will basically show you how to mount the camera and what app you need to install on your smartphone. We have this screw positioning card. This will be helpful so you know where to make the holes for the screws. Of course, we also get the screws in the box. And of course, we also get the mount for the camera. So it is super simple to install this. You basically make a couple of holes and then you mount this in those 2 holes. And then the camera gets mounted on this mount. So that simply takes about 5 minutes to install this. Now, what's interesting about this security camera is the fact that it can be used by itself. So it basically connects to your home's Wi-Fi network and it can just function by itself, or you can connect this to a Eufy Security home base. I personally have the Eufy Security home base 3 because I do have other Eufy Security cameras around the house. So for me, it was easier to connect this to a home base because my home base actually has a 1 terabyte of storage inside. So I can basically record everything that happens around the house for a long time. So you can use this with a home base or just by itself. The Eufy Security app is available for iOS and Android, and of course this is a free app and you're not gonna have to pay a monthly subscription. As I mentioned earlier, I do have that home base 3 and I can record everything for many months or probably even years. So that's why I prefer to use the app with my home base. Alright, so the pairing process is very simple once you install the app and of course you made an account. You just follow the step-by-step instructions in the app and I think it takes about 2 minutes to get this pair and ready. My camera had an update as soon as I took it out of the box, so of course I did the update through the app and so on, but everything is very easy and it only takes 2 minutes to get this paired to your smartphone basically. Taking a quick look at the camera itself, well, first of all, for a security camera, I feel that it does look quite good. This is mostly made out of plastic. It weighs about 320 grams, if I remember right. And as I mentioned earlier, at the top here, we have the massive solar panel that will keep the camera charged, so you don't have to actually plug it in and charge it. We do have a microphone and a speaker on the camera. The speaker is at the bottom. Here we basically have the sync button there and the USB-C charging port. So if you ever have to actually charge this camera, that's how you would charge it, from that USB-C port that we have at the bottom. And the port is also covered by a rubber flap. So yes, the camera is able to have a conversation. So if you're seeing someone in front of the camera, basically you can talk to them and you can actually hear what they have to say as well. So all that is done through the Eufy Security app. On the front of the camera here, we also have a motion sensor and a status LED. Now that LED can be turned on or off from the app. So if you don't want any lights on the camera, you can basically turn that LED off. But if you want the camera to show that it's recording, well, you can have that LED on. The camera also has infrared LEDs. So of course, this will be able to see in complete darkness. Just to give you an example, this is some sample footage that I got a couple of nights ago when I was using the camera. So I have 2 of these cameras installed, one on one side of the house, one on the other side. So this is footage that I was able to record in complete darkness. So it was nighttime, so of course there was no light outside. So you can clearly see everything outdoors, even in complete darkness, with those infrared LEDs that we have on the camera. And since we are checking out sample footage, I might as well show you some sample footage that I recorded with those 2 cameras that I have installed during the day, so you can see how crisp the footage is and how good the video quality is during the day, of course. So let me play those sample recordings that I have for you and I will be right back. And as you've seen for yourself, the daytime recordings that I showed you do look nice and crisp, and you can clearly see whoever is in those recordings. In this case, it's me because I was the only person around the house here. So the camera, of course, recorded me. Now, talking about humans, so this camera has AI human detection. That means that if there are some tree branches moving in the wind, for example, the camera is not going to send you a notification. But if the camera detects a person in front of it, then it will send you a notification. That's very important because you just don't want to get constant notifications for things that don't matter. So if there is like a cat walking, you definitely don't care as much as if it's a person walking in front of your camera. So very important to have that AI human detection. As for the Eufy security app, well, I've personally used this app for 3-4 years now, so I've been using the app for quite some time, so I am quite familiar with all the features. But for those of you that haven't actually used a Eufy security system before, I'm briefly gonna go over the app. So basically, each camera has its own independent settings. So you're not gonna have the same settings for all the cameras. You can have different settings for different cameras. So you can set for each camera activity zones. So let's say, for example, that you have a camera that's kind of pointing towards the sidewalk. Well, you may not necessarily want to capture everything that's happening on the sidewalk because you will get many notifications for no reason. But you do want to get notifications when someone is coming in front of your house. So you can set activity zones. So basically zones where the camera don't send you notifications and zones where the camera sends you notifications. The same goes for privacy zones. So if the camera is kind of pointing towards your neighbor's house, well, you can set a privacy zone where you don't actually record your neighbor's window. Just so I can give you an example of the customizability of the Eufy security app. So everything about each camera can be individually changed. If you have one of these solar cameras, you can also see how the camera charges every single day. You can see how much sunshine it gets and so on. Maybe you need to reposition it if it doesn't get enough sun and so on. You can also customize the notifications that the camera will send you. So everything about the Eufy security app is very customizable. As for notifications, because this is an important part for any security camera, basically whenever the security camera detects any motion, it will send you a notification. Then from the notification, if you want, you can just click on and you can actually see the live view of whatever is happening in front of the camera at that time. You can also download all that footage from the camera or from the home base, depending on your setup, to your smartphone. It's very easy to do. Basically press a little button and then you can download that footage on your smartphone, and then you can share the footage with whoever you want. Now, the notifications will be different depending on your settings, because some people may not necessarily want to get notifications if a pet goes in front of the camera or if a car goes in front of a camera. Maybe you just want to get notifications if there is a person there. So the notifications will be different depending on your settings, but basically as soon as the camera sees something, you can actually get a notification on your phone. You click on that notification and then the live view opens, or you can go back and see whatever notifications happen throughout the day, and you can see the events for those notifications as well. So to quickly conclude this video, for the price of this camera, the value that it offers is pretty much unbeatable. I like the fact that you can use it with a home base or without a home base. If you're on a budget and you want a cheaper system overall, of course you're gonna use it without a home base. I believe this has 8 gigs of internal storage, so you're gonna be able to record all that footage on the camera itself. Now, if you want a bit more of a complex system that has that home base, that has a hard drive inside, of course you're gonna have to purchase that home base as well. But you do have the option to use it just by itself. It really depends on your needs. The footage from it is nice and clear during the day and at night, and the notifications from it show up right away on your smartphone or tablet or wherever you have the Eufy security app installed. So for its price, it's hard to say anything bad about this camera. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.